The only one who can create a new world is me.
Hey guys, what's up? Lucifer here, bringing you a new video after so long. I know, uh, bear with me. I've just had a shit ton of stuff lately, but I'm gonna be back to posting. A little update on the channel. I'm going to be posting every weekend, Saturday or Sunday. I don't know yet, but it's going to be every weekend for sure. And also, I am going to be posting hopefully every 3 days, plus the weekend. So yeah. As you can see, we're going to be going over links in this video. I know that there's a lot of people who have no clue how they work, and I got my good friend Darude helping me out here. Shout out to you, bud. So yeah, basically, links are the big thing in the OCG these days. It's really what is driving the meta forward, as anyone can tell you. Yeah, it's the new rules, and it's a pain in the ass sometimes when we gotta deal with them. And I hear a lot of people complaining about them, but a lot of it is just because they really don't know what they are. So let's take for example, let's activate Red Eyes Fusion here. We're going to send Red Eyes Black Dragon and the Meteor Dragon to summon Meteor Black Comet Dragon. So most of the time you used to go into these 5 little zones over here, but now with links, the first monster you summon from the extra deck always goes into these link zones. Now you can only use the link zone that's on the right side of the field. However, well, not only you can use your opponent's one over here, but we'll get to that in a bit. Really, right now you can only use the one to the top right unless you have links. So basically, right now I locked myself out of my extra. I can't summon any more monsters from my extra, and that's an issue, right? So links are basically cards that unblock you. So let's go ahead and summon Gofu. This right here is going to be a 1-card combo, by the way. This is why Gofu is limited in the OCG. Yeah, so tokens count as normal monsters, unless specified otherwise. So what you can do, actually, is you remove them to summon a Link Spider. And, of course, remember, first monster from the extra deck always go in the Link Zone. That's another thing. You will always start out in this extra monster zone, and in order to really summon the link, you need to pretty much send the card to the graveyard, but it's not actually sending it to the graveyard. It's kind of like synchro summoning, where you just kind of use it as material, I guess I should put it. But yeah, you summon your first Link Spider, remove the other one, summon the second Link Spider, and just like that, you have 2 effect monsters. As you can see, this Link monster down here has is right below the arrow of this one. This basically means that they're linked together. I'll get more into that in a second. But yeah, what you do now is you send these to the grave. If I would stop lagging, that would be great. There you go. And you get to summon your Decode Tarker. So again, like I said, the extra monster zone is free again. You get to put your monster from the extra deck there. And now you have a Link 3 monster. What's a Link 3 monster? It basically means that this little link thing right here in the bottom right of the card means that's how many monsters you need to send as material. Then the next thing listed in the description is going to be what kinds of monsters you send. So here it says effect monsters. On the spider it said normal monsters only. But yeah. Decode Talker, this card gains 500 attack for each monster linked to it. During either player's turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card you control, you contribute 1 monster linked to this card and negate the activation if you do destroy that card. So this guy is actually, I'm not going to say amazing, but he's pretty good. He can easily get up to 3,800 attack. And as you can see, his 2 arrows point to the bottom left and to the bottom right. So basically what that means is whatever's in this middle zone here and the very far right zone are going to be these spots linked to him. When they're linked to him, they basically mean that he can activate his effect using them. There's also one that points straight up. If my opponent is dumb enough to get a monster there, then I can also use that as material. So yeah, let's say, for example, that I just managed to get some other monsters in. That reminds me, you can only summon the monsters from your extra deck, assuming that the arrow points to it. So I cannot summon 3 monsters, but I can summon 2, and they will both be linked to the Decode Talker. I summon Stargrail Imduk somehow, and this points straight up, but there's no monster zone directly above. So we're assuming that this is the case where you can't link summon anymore. So let's send him back to the extra real quick. Let's bring out another monster. Let's see, Proxy Dragon. Proxy Dragon, now, as you can see, he now has links on the right and left of him. Let's just say that a link corresponds, like two linked zones correspond with each other. That means that the monster is linked to both cards at the same time. That reminds me, I almost forgot. You can XC monsters that are already in the extra monster zone. This is mainly Cyber Dragon Nova into Cyber Dragon Infinity. Zodiacs, that kind of stuff. Also, you can synchro summon using the monster in the extra monster zone. Of course, you can't do that with decodes or any of the other link monsters that you have, simply because they don't have levels, they're links, whatever. But yeah, don't think that just because there's a monster in that extra monster zone that you can't utilize it for any other place. And as you can see, if a card you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy one monster at this card's link point. Link point is the same thing as link zone, or linked to a card, So let's just keep going up. And this is another little neat thing. Let's summon Gaia Saber. So this is a case where I would only be able to summon on the right or the left. Sadly, Dueling Book does not give you the option, once you already have that extra monster zone picked, to move where you want your monster to be. But that doesn't really matter too much. So let's say that Gaia Saber will be summoned, and he summons to the left of Proxy Dragon. The only way that you could really lock out the opponent's extra is by summoning another link into there, using the links to kind of add up into it. I know this doesn't make much sense, but think about it. It's basically like Deco Talker summoned, summon Proxy Dragon to the bottom left, so now you can use the spot on the left directly. Let's say you bring in Star Dragon Imduck there, and then all you really need to do is, let's say you make a token, you tribute the token, and you ideally would be able to summon Link Spider into your opponent's zone. That's why actually Star Grails, the new archetype in the OCG, are meta and destroying right now. I think they're topping 15, 20, a little more than 20% of all the events there. But yeah, they can completely lock out the opponent's extra deck. And this is really how they do it. They just manage to build a little bridge under. So yeah, I know that this might have been a bit of a shorter video. Like I said, I'm going to be back to being more consistent, and I really hope this helped. If any of you guys have any questions, then please feel free to ask. As you can see, you can also add me down here at Black Flame Lucifer. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.